Welcome to everyone, and thank you for participating in our third town hall, our fourth town hall session. We've had three, and we'll describe that later, but this is our last town hall meeting. I am the chair of the King County Redistricting Committee, and I'm delighted to welcome you here on behalf of the committee members, Sophia Dennenberg, Cheryl Jackson-Williams, Paul Graves, Rob Saka. So let me begin by first giving you a brief overview of our redistricting process. That's what we will do first, is provide you with that overview. Then our districting master, who is our geographic information systems expert, will present three draft maps that we published and have been online since October 7th. After Dennis's presentation, we will then open up the meeting to hear from you. The draft maps can be found at our website at kingcounty.gov/districting. When we open up the meeting for public comment, as previously mentioned, because of an experience that we had in our first town hall meeting, we ask that you use the Zoom function to indicate you're raising your hand, and then we will unmute you so that you can provide public comment. Your public comment is critical to our work, and we look forward to hearing from you. The comments that you make must be limited to matters relating to redistricting and may not be used for the purpose of assisting a campaign or election of any person to any office, or for the promotion of or opposition to any ballot proposition, and must not include obscene speech. If a speaker fails to abide by these restrictions, the speaker will be required to exit the virtual meeting. Before we begin, I want to start with some acknowledgements. In King County, we live on the ancestral homelands of the Coast Salish peoples, a people who have lived in the Salish Sea Basin from time immemorial. Please join me in expressing our deepest respect and gratitude for our indigenous neighbors, the Duwamish, Snoqualmish, Nisqually, Snoqualmie, and Muckleshoot tribes for their enduring care and protection of our shared lands and waterways. We also want to acknowledge the history and experiences of Asian Americans, Pacific Islanders, Black African Americans, and Hispanic Latinx Americans. With that, I will turn the presentation over to my colleague on the committee, Sophia Dannenberg. Sophia.
Thank you, Chair Schindler. And thank you for everyone for coming today and participating in this important civic process, our last town hall meeting. My name is Sophia Dennenberg, and I am one of the members of the redistricting committee, and I'm a resident of Seattle and Queen Anne in District 4. Can we start the slides, please? I can just start talking. The goal of the census is to count every living person in the United States every 10 years. And redistricting is the process that all levels of government go through in the United States following the census count. The process uses the updated population numbers to redraw districts that they are roughly equal in population. There are several redistricting processes happening right now, but today we're talking about the King County redistricting process, which redraws the district boundaries for the King County Council districts. The committee is an independent volunteer body whose sole responsibility is redrawing King County Council districts based on the latest census data. Under county law, 4 members of the committee were chosen by the King County Council, and that includes Paul Graves, Cheryl Jackson Williams, Rob Saka, and myself. And the 5th member, who you met earlier, retired Judge Ann Schindler, is our chair and was selected by us. Since none of us are experts in cartography, we also have a districting master, King County GIS, to handle the technical aspects of drawing the maps, and we'll hear from them next. Next slide, please. So next, we're going to take a look at the legal criteria that we use in our work. First, as we said, our primary purpose is to balance the populations so that the districts are as nearly equal in population as possible. After that, we have several criteria, the first of which is that the districts should be compact and comprised of contiguous territory. So we're told that for compact, the ideal shape is a circle, but obviously that's not practical in application. And by contiguous, we mean that every part of the district needs to connect. Next, to the extent feasible, district boundaries should coincide with existing recognized natural boundaries and be composed of economic and geographic units. And also, to the extent possible, it should preserve existing communities of related and mutual interest. And that is really what we are here today to hear from you. What do you define as community, and mutual, and what mutual interests do you have? Communities are often stronger when they can vote together and are not divided among multiple districts. Next is nearly practical. District boundaries should correspond with the boundaries of municipalities and census tracts. And finally, population data may not be used for the purpose of favoring or disfavoring any racial group or political party. So this chart shows the population growth in each district from 2010 to 2020, based on the official US Census count. You can see from this chart that King County's grown a lot. All of the districts have grown in population, but some have grown faster than others. And here we see a map with the current council district, that shows which council districts need to grow in size to add population and which will need to shrink. You'll see that South King County and the districts encompassing South Seattle and West Seattle collectively, so those are districts 2, 5, 7, and 9, need to expand by nearly 25,000 people. 3 districts stretching across North Central King County need to contract. District 4 is completely within Seattle. District 6 includes Bellevue, Kirkland, and other East Side communities. District 3 is Issaquah, Sammamish, parts of Redmond, as well as large rural areas and smaller cities, North Bend, Tanner, etc. And then on the north end, we have one district made up mostly of suburban cities with a slice of Seattle, and that district needs to expand. That's District 1. So over the summer, the committee prioritized listening to and learning about the communities of interest. We held 21 community listening sessions in 2 months. And we really appreciate everyone who participated and helped get the word out, as this was really critical to the early part of our process. And the committee is excited to share the 3 draft maps that we have with you today that incorporate the feedback we heard from those listening sessions. We're eager to hear from you and to get your input on our draft maps prior to our work to arrive at a single final draft map. Next slide, please. So in September, each member of the districting committee worked with the districting master to develop a draft map that met all of the legal criteria. At our meeting on September 30th, we reviewed the similarities and differences between the preliminary draft maps. Two of the maps, including the one that I had contributed to, were combined. And so there's only 3 maps from the 4 members. On October 7th, we published the 3 draft maps for review and public input at town hall meetings, which we are having the last of which today, and that we've been having all week. After today, we're going to continue to evaluate the 3 maps and take into account the input from the town hall meetings, as well as any additional written input that we might receive. Then we will give direction to the districting master to prepare a final draft map. We have a tight plan approval schedule due to requirements of laws. So the districting master submits the proposed final redistricting map to the committee for publication on November 23rd. We will hold a final public hearing to receive input on November 30th. And then our final vote on the redistricting plan is on December 7th. And with that, I am going to turn it over to our amazing districting master, Dennis Higgins, to present the draft maps A, B, and C. And after that, we'll open it up to your important feedback. Take it away, Dennis.
Thank you, Commissioner Dannenberg. I appreciate that introduction. I am Dennis Higgins from the King County GIS Center, and I will be sharing my screen here shortly to show you the 3 draft redistricting maps. Could someone please nod and let me know if you're able to see my screen with the maps? Great, thank you. Okay, a couple preliminary points. First off, all 3 of the maps that I'm going to show you have some things in common. We're looking at the western half of King County. The western half, if you're not familiar with the extent of King County, it extends all the way east to the crest of the Cascades. Not a lot of population up there, and in fact, none of the 3 proposed plans propose any changes to the boundaries as they approach the upper east part of the county. So we are looking on all 3 maps at the western part of King County. All 3 maps will show you about the same area. This is Seattle. This is Bellevue, Lake Washington, Puget Sound, Vashon Island, South King County. Another thing that all 3 maps have in common, all 3 maps show you the current county council boundaries in a black solid outline. And underneath that then are the proposals on each map, which are represented by different shades for different council districts. With those introductions, let me begin in the northwest part of King County. There is a proposal here in Plan A to move the Holler Lake neighborhood in North Seattle from District 4 into District 1. Also, a minor adjustment between District 4 and District 2 in the Wallingford area closest to I-5. Currently, the boundary comes a bit differently through there. Further south on District 4, you can see that the boundary between District 4 and District 8 is moved to the north. Currently, it runs approximately on Madison through downtown Seattle. It is proposed to move to Stewart and Westlake. There is also a portion of the South Lake Union neighborhood that is proposed to be moved into District 2. The Chinatown International District is united on both sides of I-5 in this proposal into District 8. Continuing further south, the area of North Tukwila that is unincorporated is proposed to be moved into District 2 from District 8. Further south, the boundary between District 8 and District 5 is proposed to be altered from the current boundary that you can see in black in order to reunite the city of Burien in its entirety into District 8. Also, the entirety of the city of Tukwila is proposed to be reunited in District 5. Further south, there are some minor adjustments between District 7 and District 5 in Southeast Kent, and that is the full extent of adjustments in South King County. Moving around to the northeast and the east side, looking in the Eastgate neighborhood of Bellevue, which is currently in District 6, in this Plan A is proposed to be brought into District 9. Also, a small part of the Lakemont neighborhood is similarly proposed to be brought from District 6 into District 9. Further north on the east side, you can see that the boundary between District 3 and District 6 is proposed to be altered, whereby District 6 will take in more of the city of Redmond, including downtown Redmond, and the industrial business center north of downtown Redmond. Further to the north, the city of Woodinville, which is currently split between District 1 and District 6, is proposed to be reunited into District 3 in this proposal. And then last but not least, here in Plan A, there are some adjustments to the boundary between District 1 and 6 in the Kirkland, Juanita area, also in the South Bothell area. There you have Plan A. I will now move on to Plan B. Plan B, you're now viewing on the screen, and again, we're looking at Western King County. Again, we have the current county council district boundaries shown in the dark outline, but there are some differences between Plan B and Plan A. I will begin again in Northwest King County. In proposed Plan B, the proposal is to bring Holler Lake and Broadview into District 1 from District 4. Also, there is a proposal to bring the North U District Roosevelt neighborhoods into District 1 from District 2. Continuing further south, you can see that there is an area which is currently in District 8, but is proposed to be brought into District 2. This is the Capitol Hill neighborhood and the South Downtown neighborhood. And those are both proposed to be brought into District 2 from District 8 here in proposed Plan B. Further south, there is an adjustment, as you can see, between District 2 and District 8 again. Currently, the boundary runs roughly along I-5, and the boundary in this plan is proposed to go to the Duwamish River, which means that the entire Sodo area and the Boeing Field, Georgetown areas would move from District 8 into District 2. Continuing further south, the boundaries for District 8 are shifted to the south to take in all of the city of Burien, all of the city of Normandy Park, the north part of the city of Des Moines, and all of the city of SeaTac would be moved into District 8 from District 5 in this proposed Plan B. District 5, in turn, takes in the northeast part of Renton, which includes Kennydale and the Highlands neighborhoods of Renton, moving from District 9 into District 5 in this proposal. Further south, the boundaries between District 7 and 5 and 9 are adjusted very slightly, as you can see here again in the southeast Kent area, also south of the city of Covington. Moving around to the east side, northeast part of the map, the proposal would be to shift the city of Issaquah in its entirety from District 3 into District 9. Also to shift the boundary of District 9 northward. Currently it runs along I-90 and then just along the east side of Factoria. And the proposal here in Plan B is to move the boundary between District 6 and District 9 northward to approximately Southeast 16th Street. Continuing further north and looking at the boundary between District 6 and District 3, the west part of Redmond, including part but not all of the Overlake neighborhood, is proposed to be brought into District 3 from District 6. Further to the north, as in Plan A, Plan B proposes to reunite the city of Woodinville in its entirety into District 3. And finally, the area that you're seeing here in green, which is currently in District 1, is proposed to be moved into District 6 under this proposal. This is the South Kenmore area, the Juanita neighborhood of Kirkland, and the southern part of the city of Bothell. There you have Plan B. I will now move on to Plan C. On your screen now, you should be able to see the proposed Plan C. And I will begin again by pointing out the current county council districts are shown in black. Let me also point out a couple things that are common between all three plans. Vashon Island, which is a part of King County linked by the Fauntleroy-Vashon Ferry, in all three proposed plans remains in District 8, and Mercer Island in all three proposed plans remains in District 6. With that said, let me move back to the northwest part of King County and North Seattle, where you can see that the boundary between District 1 and District 4 has been altered in order to make District 4 more of a east-west district. In the current configuration, District 4 takes in Magnolia and Queen Anne. In this proposed Plan C, District 4 shifts to be more of an east-west district to take in all of North Seattle north of the Ship Canal up to about 115th Street. And that would then become the boundary between District 4 and District 1. And so you can see that the U District, along with the neighborhoods near the U District, would shift from District 2 into District 4 in this proposed Plan C. Moving further to the south, you can see that Magnolia and Queen Anne, which are currently in District 4, are proposed to go into District 8. You can also see that the Capitol Hill neighborhood and part of South Lake Union neighborhoods are proposed to go into Council District 2 in this proposed plan. Further to the south, you can see the area of Boeing Field and Georgetown, which is proposed to be moved from District 8 into District 2. Let me also point out a commonality between all three plans. All three plans retain Skyway within District 2. Further to the south, the boundary between District 5 and District 8 is shifted to the north to take in more of the city of Burien, more of the city of SeaTac, and all of the city of Tukwila. Further to the south, District 7 is altered to take in more of the main part of Kent, including all of Kent West Hill, downtown Kent, and most of the Kent East Hill, excluding the Panther Lake neighborhood. Let me pan the map to the south briefly to show you that this proposed Plan C makes some changes in South King County that the other plans do not. Council District 9, 5, and 7, you can see, are reshaped significantly. District 9 becomes or takes in all of the Enumclaw Plateau. Currently, it takes in the east half of the Enumclaw Plateau, including the city of Enumclaw. Under proposed Plan C, all of the Enumclaw Plateau would move into District 9, along with the southeast part of Auburn and the Lee Hill neighborhood of Auburn. Also, the far east part of the city of Kent would move into District 9 in this proposed Plan C. Moving back to the north, you can see that District 5 takes in the northeast part of the city of Renton in a similar manner to Plan B. Both of those plans propose to bring Renton in its entirety into District 5. Further to the north, the boundary between District 6 and District 9 is shifted southward so that the south boundary of District 6 becomes the south boundary of the city of Bellevue. So District 9 and District 6 boundary becomes the south boundary of Bellevue. The entirety of the city of Bellevue is therefore contained in District 6 in this proposed Plan C. The boundaries between District 9 and 3 remain the same with the exception of a neighborhood south of the Tiger Mountain area, which would move into District 3 in this plan. Further to the north, you can see that because District 6 has shifted southward to take in all of Bellevue, that the north boundary of District 6 has been moved southward as well. And there are minor adjustments between District 6 and District 3 in this proposed Plan C in the Redmond area. And District 1, which we talked about earlier, therefore shifts to take in more of the Kirkland area, as well as the city of Bothell and the entirety of the city of Woodinville would move into District 1 in this proposed Plan C. That is Plan C, and that is the end of my presentation. Chair Schindler, back over to you.
Oh, thank you very much, Dennis. This is now the opportunity for you to please provide your input and comments. We look forward to hearing from you. Again, if you could use the Zoom function to raise your hand. Staff is going to help us in identifying who has raised their hand. Staff will unmute you. If you could please state your name for purposes of the record. And again, limit your comments to redistricting. With that, if staff can please identify who has raised their hands and in what order.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The first name I see is Victoria Hunt. Victoria, if you want to unmute yourself, go ahead and you can begin your testimony.
Good evening. Thank you. My name is Victoria Hunt. I currently serve as the Issaquah City Council President and have served on the Issaquah City Council for 4 years. I am coming to you today to speak as an individual and not on behalf of the council. There is a lot that you are considering here, and thank you so much for your work on this. I'm going to be speaking specifically to Issaquah and Issaquah in relationship to the borders that you are considering in the different plans. Of the options currently being considered in drafts plan A and C, Issaquah remains in District 3. And I'm here to say that of the options on the table, I think that keeping Issaquah in District 3 makes a lot of sense and makes more sense to me than moving it entirely into District 9 as it appears in Plan B. My comments are mostly focused around the communities of interest criteria from the criteria that you listed earlier. We have a lot of common interests in the city of Issaquah with the other communities within District 3 and within that sort of region. A few examples that stand out to me and that hopefully are helpful to you on the redistricting committee. Firstly, service providers. In terms of service providers, we are served by Eastside Fire and Rescue, which serves Issaquah, North Bend, Sammamish, and fire districts 10 and 38, which includes Carnation. Also, some shared interests and partnerships with strong partnerships and communities within the region around the 3rd district. For example, there was an amazing partnership between the Snoqualmie tribe, the city of Issaquah, and the city of Sammamish and Eastside Fire and Rescue called the Snoqualmie Tribe Vaccine Partnership. This partnership really exemplified what communities with common interests working together can do. And the Snoqualmie Tribe Vaccine Partnership was recently the recipient of the King County Executives Award for Community Resilience for delivering tens of thousands of doses of COVID-19 vaccine to folks on the East Side. One other thing that I thought might be helpful to the committee is we also share a shoreline with Lake Sammamish with our neighbors to the north in the city of Sammamish. And the Lake Sammamish is a very important bonding and natural feature for Issaquah that people congregate around and recreate together. So this shoreline is a special feature for Issaquah. So I recognize that there's a very complicated task ahead of you. I wanted to thank you for considering my comments this evening, and thank you so much for all the work that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Victoria. Next, Madam Chair, is Steve Christensen. Steve, if you want to unmute yourself, go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak to the King County redistricting plans put forward by the commission. My name is Steve Christensen, and I've lived in Sammamish for 34 years. I've reviewed the 3 maps presented by the commission and think maps A and C address the contiguous nature of Issaquah and Sammamish, whereas map B does not. These 2 cities have been connected in multiple ways for decades. We share a school district, residents in Sammamish shop in Issaquah, our major medical services are in Issaquah, our common route to Seattle is I-90, water service for northern regions of Issaquah comes from the Sammamish Plateau water, with a portion of water coming from wells that tap the same aquifer. Our post office is in Issaquah, and I still periodically get mail that lists my city as Issaquah 22 years after Sammamish was incorporated. The transit centers for bus service into Seattle are located in Issaquah, and someday light rail will be available to our region of the plateau via a station in Issaquah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, those are the only 2 folks that have their hands up. So before we kind of unmute everybody, does anyone else want to raise their hand right now to be recognized? Okay, I know Zoom is fairly difficult for folks as well sometimes. So Aaron, do you want to unmute everyone, and then we can quickly ask if anyone is having Zoom trouble and would otherwise want to be recognized?
Everyone should now have the ability to unmute themselves.
So if you were having trouble with the raise hand function, you can now unmute yourself. Just click the little microphone button and we will hear you.
I see Neil is unmuted. Neil, did you have public comment you wanted to provide?
Go ahead, you come.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I'm not seeing anyone else that's coming off of mute.
All right, well, thank you for joining us for our last town hall. And I want to, and we'll put up on the screen, provide you with a reminder of our website and how to communicate with us. We welcome any comments that you have or any further thoughts. You can email us at the following address. Here it is. Districting@kingcounty.gov. You can also visit our website where the maps are posted, and there's a wealth of other information on that website, www.kingcounty.gov/districting. But again, if you have any additional thoughts or comments, we do read them, we do take them into account, and you can email us at districting@kingcounty.gov. I also want to particularly thank King County Council staff who have done a remarkable job in organizing these town halls. And so special thanks to Patrick Hamaker, Aaron Aria, and Tanya Santiago Pastrana. So thank you all for joining us, and we appreciate your comments and look forward to hearing from you if you have additional thoughts. And that will conclude our town hall.
Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you to our interpreters for your help tonight.